Hello students, I'm Himani Sharma, your UGC NET educator. In this new YouTube video, we are going to move forward with the Paper-I concept series which are related to higher education. And we are going to talk about the 4 ashrams of life which were there, which were, introduced by the Gurukul system, right? So we are going to talk about it. First of all, we need to know that what these 4 ashrams were, why were they divided into 4, right? And what were the names, and if there are still these ashrams in India, which are the prominent ones according to each category, correct? So ashrams were an integral part of ancient Indian society. If we talk about, if you would have seen the previous video where I tried to talk about the ancient education system in India, we talked about that how there was a Gurukul system. And in the Gurukul system of education, the student used to live with the teacher after particular ceremonies, and the teacher and the student used to have a cordial relationship with one another. The student basically used to come and live with the teacher in the Gurukul, correct? These Gurukuls were also considered as ashrams only, providing a structured framework for individuals to lead a fulfilling and meaningful life. So these were divided into 4 chunks. That first of all, in the first part of your life, you are going to enter into this very ashram, and these were spiritual as well as physical ashrams which were there. The ancient Indian society recognized 4 stages of life about which we are going to talk about. These 4 stages are known as 4 ashrams. So 4 stages, if we talk about it in the metaphorical sense, we know that first of all, we need to know certain things, then we marry, right? We need to develop our understanding till one age, then we marry, then we leave our family, and then we renounce the world. So these 4 stages descriptively have been divided according to the ancient Indian education system, and hence they have been called as 4 stages of life, each associated with a specific ashram, correct? So first of all, the Brahmacharya. If you would have heard about Brahmacharya, it means that you are supposed to live a life with celibacy. You are not supposed to get indulged in any kind of sexual activities. You are supposed to maintain certain kind of peace, self-control over yourself, and you're not supposed to marry. So there's this first stage that comes that is known as Brahmacharya, correct? First stage focused on education and celibacy. Young individuals, of course, after certain age, they used to get entered into the Gurukul system, the first ashram, who would join a Gurukul and or an ashram to receive education and spiritual guidance. So after first stage, the second stage will come. Like in first stage, what do we have? We are supposed to remain with a life which is Brahmacharya, correct? Which is known as a student stage. Emphasis on discipline, that is there, self-control and the study of scripture. So you are just devoted into these very things, into learning the mantras of the Vedas, into learning the scriptures which are there, into being, having your spiritual as well as physical, mental growth as well, correct? So in today's time, the prominent Brahmacharya ashram, which was founded in the year 1902 by Swami Shraddhanand, was, what is the name? Gurukul Kangri, which is in Haridwar. One of the oldest and most renowned Gurukuls in India, emphasizes Vedic education system. So ancient education system, if I'm talking about, it is about a Vedic education system where we talk about Vedas according to the early Vedic age, correct, and the later Vedic age. Character development was one thing which was emphasized under this first stage, because you are, if you want to achieve knowledge, only then of course you are going to get it, married. So of course, first of all, you need to experience this very thing in life as well without any partner, just learning, acquiring knowledge, correct? Then we have the second stage, which is known as Grihasti Basana, right? Which means that now you are supposed to marry. So after Brahmacharya, that is the first stage. Now you're going to enter the life of a householder. You are going to, get those responsibilities of raising a family, having children, getting married, so on and so forth. Second stage centered around household and family life. Hence, it is known as grihasti, as I already told you. Focus on building a career. You are supposed to get ahead with your life after learning through the brahmacharya stage, get married and raise a family. These were the certain things which were being of prominence under what stage? Under the second stage, which was known as the grihast. Correct? And the prominent grihast ashram in India is Janki Van Ayodhya, known for its emphasis on family values, of course, because grihast ashram hai, and community living. Offer workshops and programs on marriage, because it is going to promote marriage only, because it is a grihast ashram. Parenting, because you're going to raise a family, and relationships, not only a relationship with your wife or children, but also with your in-laws, etc., and how to maintain those very relationships. Encourages individuals to lead a balanced and fulfilling life. Sorry. Really sorry. Then we have Vanaprastha, which basically, if we try to talk about, is living a life in the forest. Retirement stage in English, if we talk about. Now here, if I tell you that this is, first of all, if we are talking about Pehli stage was Brahmacharya, second was Grihast, third one is Vanaprastha, where you are going to live a life of a saint particularly, but yes, of course, you can have connections with your family to a certain extent. Focused on gradual withdrawal from worldly responsibility. So the materialism, the materiality, right? The your greed, etc., for materialistic things, that should be withdrawn from. You should be detached from the world to some extent, but you can have connection with your family. This was one feature which makes it a little different from the sannyasi ashram. Individuals would retire from their active roles, which were there from their active roles, such as a person who is a householder. Devote time to spiritual practices, self-reflection and serving society. So introspection, etc., that will be done under what stage? That will be done under the Vanaprastha stage, which comes under the third stage of life. Often individuals would move to a forest. Hence, Vanaprastha, one mein jaake rehna, right? Move to a forest or an ashram for a more secluded and introspective lifestyle, to see if they have committed any sins, if they need to make any changes in their lifestyle, if of course they are supposed to detach from the worldly affairs, from the worldly materialistic things, they are going to do that under this very particular stage of Vanaprastha. Correct? Prominent Vanaprastha ashram in India, if we talk about it, Shivananda Ashram, which is in Rishikesh. Founded by Swami Shivanand in the year 1936, it's still there. Provides a peaceful retreat for individuals seeking spiritual rejuvenation. Of course, because under Vanaprastha, you are supposed to gradually develop into spirituality. Only then you will be able to reach to the fourth stage. So from Vanaprastha, there's this beginning of you getting detached from worldly affairs. Offers various programs including yoga, because it will help you getting self-discipline, self-control, etc. Meditation and spiritual discourses, any piece of writing. Correct? So that is there. Then we have the fourth and the last stage of life, which is known as the sannyasa ashram, which is known as renunciate stage or renunciation stage, because you are going to renounce all the worldly things which are there, not only just things, the worldly relationships that you have with your family, friends, etc. Correct? The final stage marked by renunciation. You're going to renounce, you're going to leave out everything, you're going to get detached from everything, complete detachment from worldly affairs. Renounce all possessions which you have, be it property, be it any kind of thing. Dedicate themselves fully to spiritual pursuits, which means trying to attain salvation, moksha ki prapti ke liye, you are supposed to get ahead with this very stage, which is known as sannyas, ashram. Seeking self-realization and liberation, which can be there. They would wander as ascetics, which means that they will wander as saints, right? Santo ki tarah, they will be the ones who will be wandering, relying on the goodwill of society for their basic needs. months, right? So basically, bhiksha mange, of course, you're going to have your food and not getting it under any circumstances by money or other ways, but yes, of course, through other, ways for the basic needs of food you're going to get from other people by asking them for these very things. Advait Ashram in Kolkata is the prominent ashram in the sannyas and the fourth final stage of life. Founded by Swami Vivekananda in 1899 year, teachings of Vedanta, that is there, spiritual upliftment is there, because this is that very stage which comes after the Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means you just have the beginning of the spiritual, awakening. But here you are going to get spiritually awakened by certain aspects or certain programs through which they are taught. Promotes the philosophy of non-duality and self-realization, and realizing that all these worldly things are nothing but just, these are nothing basically. So of course you are going to get away from these very things and rather focus on getting attached with none other than the divine or the almighty. Correct? So the four ashrams provided a structured framework as in how you're supposed to lead your life in any and every stage, which is just for your balanced and purposeful growth and balanced and purposeful life, so that you have achieved certain things and you know that here I have been a brahmacharya, I have led a life of brahmachari, right? In the second stage, I have been a person who has led a life. So you are getting, you're getting the taste of everything. You are learning life through these very particular ashrams. Third is Vanaprastha, where I'll be having very less connection with my family, but I will try to get away from all the worldly affairs, all the worldly things. And the fourth one, which is known as the Sannyas ashram. Correct? Each ashram represented a different stage and offered unique opportunities for the people who were there for personal growth and spiritual development. The spiritual development which is here is less as compared to the sannyas ashram. Although the ashram system has evolved over time, over the years of the ancient ages, its principle continues to inspire seekers on their spiritual journeys. So we'll try to revise once again just what we have done. First one was the brahmacharya or the student stage, where you are going to just live a life which is away from sexual pleasures, which is with self-control, and you are disciplined. Correct? So that is the first stage of life, which is known as what? Which is known as brahmacharya. So aap kisi ke saath bhi physically you are not going to get involved with anyone. Then we had grihast, where you are supposed to live a life with family. You are going to get married, you are going to raise children, you are going to have a family, and you are going to take care of the relationships that you have in all the worldly affairs in your community, basically. Correct? So that is the second stage. The third one we talked about is Vanaprastha, where you might or might not go into a forest or any kind of secluded place to get that peace, to get that shanti, right? But you can maintain somewhere or the other little or less contact with your family. So of course, you are going to slowly detach from your family, withdraw from your family. And then you're going to enter what kind of stage? Then you're going to enter the last stage of sannyas. Correct? So you are going to see that yes, now I have lived my life from a person who was a student, who has raised a family, who has lived a life away from family, away from materialistic things, and now I am going to leave this very world and attain moksha. So this is what we all had in this very particular lecture, which was associated with the four ashrams of life, or the four stages of life per se, according to the Vedic or the ancient education system of India. I'll bring forth certain other videos for you. Thank you so much and have a good day.